Don't talk about it, talk about it. Don't talk about it, talk about it. Don't talk about it, talk about it. Don't talk about, talk about, 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 don't talk about, talk about. Don't talk about what you see behind closed doors. Don't talk about business that you know that ain't yours. Better not talk about what happened in '04, but you could talk about what you hear from Canaanland Moors. Bet you won't talk about when you were on all fours. The times you wanted to experiment, explore. Most don't talk about the childhood they endured. It's psychological, need I say more? But all you do is talk shit, yeah I know that you're bored. Talk all you want about me, I've been learning to ignore. Don't talk about facts if you know you ain't sure. Let's talk about the reasons why we can't stop wars. Don't talk about it, talk about it. Don't talk about it, talk about it. Don't talk about, talk about, don't talk about, talk about, don't talk about, talk about, don't talk about, talk about. You don't talk about the trees and how you invaded our shores. Disease for every season, let's talk about the cures. You don't wanna talk about the properties of ore, the minerals and elements and what it's used for. Oh, don't talk about that, it's organic and pure. Talk about how the apple rottens you to the core. Won't talk about how radiation seeps through the pores. All we do is talk about the bloodshed and gore. Yeah, you talk a good game, but I leave it on the floor. Talk some respect on my name before your skull get bored. And I PVR that shit, so don't talk about the score. Some say I talk too much, but I never stop talk. That I assure. Don't talk about waking up the line if you don't wanna hear it roar. No need to talk about the time she was acting like a whore. Well, let's talk about that thing on your lip right before I let you draw my split. That's looking like a sword. You could wait on the tail or twist this either or. Yeah, you better talk quick. Trust won't be restored. Don't talk about the plans and what we got in store. Then let me hear you talk sideways about my boy Jam McGlure. Huh? My boy Jam McGlure. Don't let me hear you talk sideways about my boy Jam McGlure. What? Do your chores.
I know who this nigga's talking to. I know you ain't talking to me. You couldn't be talking to me, cause you think you're high and mighty. Who are you to tell everybody what to do? Or who to judge? Well, who made you judge, jury, and executioner? I know I talk when I wanna talk. I do, sing, talk, speak when I wanna speak. How, when, what, why? Don't tell me what to do, nigga. You don't know me. Who the motherfucker you think you is? You can't talk to me.
Man, I see the strongest and smartest men who've ever lived. I see all this potential. I see squandered. God damn it, an entire generation pumping gas, waiting tables. Slaves with white collars.
Marcus Garvey got my right, Drew Ali got my left side. Hook pulling for devil's hides with the valley of death stride. Blade dirty like it doesn't shower, tongue is the sword. Moorish master MC Moor, I self-am Lord. Accent of Tony Martin and Kwame Ture. They poison Steve Coakley, exposing the black boule. Threatening Ivan Van Sertima with deportation to his own land he's in. So you know some Masons are pulling strings to shut him up for saying Olmecs. Speaking the truth of those existing before Toltecs and Aztecs and Mayan. So-called blacks are the Hawaiian and the American and the free white man. Stop the blood clot crying. Irish nigga fighting a dancing monkey. Disgrace the race, slap a mumble rap chunky. Take your mask off, show you the future, give you nervous sweats. Listen to yourself singing about Molly and Percocets.
Advertising has us chasing cars and clothes, working jobs we hate so we can buy shit we don't need.
I see y'all wearing skinny jeans and sagging and sports bra shirts, calling Ho Chi to bury them in Calgary far outskirts. Too grizzly to bear, I fear falling off this frisbee, I swear. Never mind sight impaired, stay on my square. 7 and 4 quadrant ring, I'm on my knees not praying. I'm strangling gin with rude raksha beads. Some might say mala, some might call it a Buddhist chain. In times of war, everything is a weapon just the same as everything above has it below. Check the facts in stone, or if you can find one, ask a pharaoh. What Orion and Sirius have to do with the plateau of Giza? Ancestors thought project place to place like Frieza. More scientists, Sufis, shut up and down believers. Make those with little faith become ancestral receivers. Through signs and symbols, rhymes and signals. Either abandon or get your birthright like a retriever. Abandon or get your birthright like a retriever. No need to bring it back, you need no shepherd. Stop being a sheep, black, stop wasting effort. Stop letting traders chill, drop them off in deserts. I buzz at dinner, a sellout, before I get the hell out. I listen to what Drew Ali taught, he didn't have to yell out. Ref bring the bell out, Shango, the chicken heads out. Merge shaman stones and tiger eyes, help the spell out. Pool Bay, the reason El Shabazz and Ali fell out. Moors disgruntled and watching people with brows crumble to be exalted, but praise themselves, never humbled. Begging for props, wanting segregation by calling the cops, then calling them racist after someone gets shot or beat to a pulp or choked out. R.I.P. May ancestors let your devil self haunt their dreams. Tortured forever and ever, have peace never. So low, make their head hurt with biometric pressure.
Middle children of history, man. No purpose or place. We have no Great War, no Great Depression. Our Great War is a spiritual war. Our Great Depression is our lives.
Most don't learn till it's too late. Most say that they real but they too fake. Most act minor but think they too great. Most meet fate just cause they too bait. Most don't learn till it's too late. Most say that they real but they too fake. Most act minor but think they too great. Most meet fate just cause they too bait. Welcome to Scarborough. Youths want cash without tango. Candle magic got me calling on Shango. When I strike, I'm coming from lightning angles. Wet up in your ride like dangles. Know your place. When me and the God step into place, devils get step in their face. No matter your race, watch your speech. We defend peace with justice. Love for the God make you shit like mustard or run like custard. Too slow, so you know how it go. Send him to Assad. I'm not the one to judge you, bro, or judge you, sis. Humanity written from hip to hip, but you're shaking them and not getting your womb equipped. Degrading yourself for women's rights, not saving yourself. Turning a dyke, but won't spiritually raise yourself. Waste of sperm, can't even wait to perm. Getting viruses and symptoms, you're thinking it's germs. Making so many mistakes, from none you learn. Seeing your future as the fucking cauldron turn. Ease the burn of your young son's death. Blaming the influence, but never blaming yourself. Driver shot, but never a crooked cop. Crip shot, but never a racist cop. Racism doesn't exist, so stop. Rex 84, King Alfred got him on the block for chopping. Nigga mortus, abuse ain't stopping. Guns on your shirts, but your pistol's not cocking. Popping and locking, guns jammed for 10 you're locked in. Or eternal sleep in a closed coffin. Most don't learn till it's too late. Most say that they real but they too fake. Most act minor but think they too great. Most meet fate just cause they too bait. Most don't learn till it's too late. Most say that they real but they too fake. Most act minor but think they too great. Most meet fate just cause they too bait. They got you stuck on some fakeness. We revealed this, you heard of us. Official lower self murderers. These Moors come equipped for warfare. Tam or Kufi, these Sufi are my corp of Mufti. For all those who wanna profile and pose. See a nigga dressing, know a fag made his clothes. You all alone in that gear, cousin. Gangsta hardcore thugs, you just frontin'. Cops keep them fake crews running like they supposed to. Rich like Scarface, you never come close to. I can see it, eyes tell no lies. Assalamu alaikum, selling white sugar in those bean pies. Giving dollars to Doc's lawyer who took the bar. And between you and your leader, he's being a bar. Some say I'm rude, blame brother Dawood or Azariah. Pascal Beverly, the Messiah. David Walker, action not a talker. Sleepwalker, wake up, you're just daydreaming. Dirty Moors don't wanna be God and stay heathen. I can't believe what I'm seeing. Most don't learn till it's too late. Most say that they real but they too fake. Most act minor but think they too great. Most meet fate just cause they too bait. Most don't learn till it's too late. Most say that they real but they too fake. form like Luke. Oops, call them dirty Moors is what we taught to do. Not the clansmen, burning some cross for you. If he's got a speechwriter, who's the boss to you? Voting for Obama, I see he's off like you. I walk, don't need a boxed up Porsche like you. Loving the Fiat, dirty Moors thugging for Fiat. Grabbing old ladies' purses, they mugging for Fiat. Some taking, some baked, for Fiat they drugging. Fiat is back by nothing, fam, I'm not bluffing. Players hands on their ass like it's turkey they stuffing. Doing it for your boys, treat your girl like nothing. Matriarch rules, patriarch fools. I'm seeing gods act like men, thinking like mules. Square my rough edges without mason tools. I never took a oath, so I'm revealing mason rules. Most don't learn till it's too late. Most say that they real but they too fake. Most act minor but think they too great. Most meet fate just cause they too bait. Most don't learn till it's too late. Most say that they real but they too fake. Most act minor but think they too great. Most meet fate just cause they too bait.
So help me to understand this piece of fucking caca-hole foolishness why he's seeing here with this individual. How the fuck he could come and cheddar that, climb up in KFC, go all on top the counter, but when I go on top the counter, they come and run me, the security running me. They're trying to play mad. The police want to fucking come around me. You understand? And I don't get no free chicken and things. So how the fuck, every time when somebody come down from here, they always gain something, or they always moving like, we Trinidadians don't get them fucking thing, and I'm to tell this thinking mother content them. All you just deal with people bad, and the little content them always want to treat them good. Instead of, by right all yeah. So help me to understand this piece of fucking caca-hole foolishness why he's seeing here with this individual. How the fuck he could come and cheddar that, climb up in KFC, go all on top the counter, but when I go on top the counter, they come to run me, the security running me. They're trying to play mad. The police want to fucking come around me. You understand? And I don't get no free chicken and things. So how the fuck, every time when somebody come down from here, they always gain something, or they always moving like, we Trinidadians don't get them fucking thing, and I'm to tell this thinking mother content them. All you just deal with people bad, and the little content them always want to treat them good. Instead of, by
Alhamdulillah, assalamu alaikum, y'all. We got a quick, brief. This is called a heavy, real heavy, big heavy. This is a big heavy reminder, y'all. Before y'all go pick up them guns, before y'all go slide, before y'all go ride, before y'all go step, please understand, in the courtrooms, they giving out 170 years, bro. I promise you they years. I already got it. How much time you got, bro? 87. How much time you got? 55. 55, 87, and 170, all right here. That's 312 years. So like I'm telling y'all, before y'all go slide, listen to the music, pick up the gun, go let off the switch, please remember us. 170 years, 87 years, 55. Hey, y'all, they're tweaking. Y'all better stop playing, because they're not playing with y'all. That's real life. And what they're tweaking, bro. Reminder. Heavy reminder. They giving out time in the courtrooms, and they want you to do it. Stop playing. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. Assalamu alaikum, y'all. We got a quick, brief. This is called a heavy, real heavy, big heavy. This is a big heavy reminder, y'all. Before y'all go pick up them guns, before y'all go slide, before y'all go ride, before y'all go step, please understand, in the courtrooms, they giving out 170 years, bro. I promise you they years. I already got it. How much time you got, bro? 87. How much time you got? 55. 55, 87, and 170, all right here. That's 312 years. So like I'm telling y'all, before y'all go slide, listen to the music, pick up the gun, go let off the switch, please remember us. 170 years, 87 years, 55. Hey, y'all, they're tweaking. Y'all better stop playing, because they're not playing with y'all. That's real life. And what they're tweaking, bro. Reminder. Heavy reminder. They giving out time in the courtrooms, and they want you to do it. Stop playing.
Did you know that black pirates owned white slaves? These black pirates owned...
Stop the BS. See, this is the BS that makes... See? Islam wars.
100,000 wars. That's the 170 years. Because he's in there on some Islam. Assalamu alaikum. Alaikum assalam, brother. Thanks for the message. Thank you. Thank you, my Muslim brother, for telling these people. 300 years. And then what happened? Here they go. Right? So whoever this is, Sainted Shiloh, 170 years, because he said black. And then that's just how we get rid of them ones. Get them out of here too. Right? Because the streets game been up. Ever since your boy, Jay-Z told you streets is watching, stuff was up. Stuff was already over. It was done. Street game's over. Whoever made their stuff, they got out. Hey, round of applause. Hope you did something for the community. Everybody else, jail or working with the whoever's bringing the stuff in, or cemetery or cremated or whatever. That game is done. That stuff been up. Right? The weed people thought they had a chance, and then they legalize and all that stuff, and all the weed people, their stuff is done. Now they gotta go, now, unless they went legal, their stuff's done. Right? Because it was lawful before, you just get your stuff, do your thing. Not harming nobody with weed. Right? But the game's up. Right? The game's up. Be on the lookout. Be on the lookout. I'm asking pages in their DM, are they AI? They're saying yeah. Be on the lookout. Sarah Connor and all them, they weren't playing. Max Headroom and all that stuff wasn't playing around. Right? And of course, we got the best because we got to see it before, and now we're seeing it with all this BS going on now. Right? When learning was an amazing thing. Learning was such a beautiful thing. Going to the lectures and go chill with the Moors and the conscious whoever's and the energy. And now, all you have is, you don't even know what you got right now. You don't even know. You don't even know. Because you've been played. Where's the thing? Right, played. Been played. Somebody knows. I don't know who knows. But somebody knows. How do they know? They don't know? Played. That's not even chicken. Played. That's why you realize, without a shadow of a doubt, you realize why there's a Noble Drew Ali. And why he brought everything that it takes to save a nation. And told our people, take it and save themselves. And it starts with you not claiming these brand names that you think is some identity of people when everybody knows that it's BS. They're either keeping you zombie or they want that mind that you have. And you're about to give it to them too. You're about to give it to them. Playing little dumb games when everybody knows what's
darker
up.
skin. I've always wondered, why are Indian people called brown people, but black people are called black? I'm literally darker than a lot of them. As someone with darker skin, I've always wondered, why are Indian people called brown people, but black people are called black? I'm literally darker than a lot of them. As someone with darker skin, I've always wondered, why are Indian people called brown people, but black people are called black? I'm literally darker than a lot of them.
Literally darker than black people. And he's never called black ever? How is he never called black ever? How come? Who has this complexion right now? Put a 1 in the chat if you have this complexion. And if they misclassified you as black and you have this complexion, then how come he's not black? How come he's brown? You don't realize the game they're playing on you? Because he has a nationality. He has a nationality. Bet you he's not brown. Bet you he's not brown. So if he's not black, how are you black? How? You're no way you're black. If he's not black and he's confused because he's like, well, I want to say N-word and all that. What the hell? Everybody else can say the N-word. How come I look like this? I can't say the N-word. Mad. Going on TikTok complaining. I want to be black. And nobody's going to accept them as black either. They know, you have a nationality. You can't be black. So hold on a second. So if he's, how come you could be black though? So you can be black, but he can't be black. And he can't say the N-word, but you can say it. Yeah, we're dealing with sorcerers. The sorcerers did a good job. The sorcerers did a good job. Did a very good job. Hell are you talking about? You just go check. Black pirates what? Christian slaves, Muslim masters. Robert C. Davis. Don't just say pirates only. Say that they call them Muslim too. Don't do that. Right? British slaves and Barbary corsairs. 1580 to 1750. Bernard Cap. No, say corsairs. Black pirates. That's a lie. That's for the people to be able to push their black crap, which is a fiction that they shouldn't be pushing. They should be telling the truth and say that these are Barbary corsairs. They don't black anything. That's a lie. There's no black pirates. That's a lie. Captives and Companions. A History of Slavery and the Slave Trade in the Islamic World. Justin Morosi. You don't black anything. Oh, Islamic world. Oh, interesting. Interesting. White Gold. Giles Milton. White Gold. No, contemporary accounts of 17th and 18th century provides first-hand perspectives of European captives. Oh, author of a true and faithful account of the religion and manners of the Mohammedans, documenting his capture at age 14 and subsequent slavery in Algiers. Joseph Pitts, 1704. Mohammedans? You know, black pirates? The Mohammedans. Or Barbary corsairs. Or the Muslim. Or the Islamic. No, none of that black crap. The only way you're getting that is with the dummies on this side who want to keep playing this game. This identity crisis game. Don't know who they are. They're X, but we're supposed to follow these people into some happiness of something. Cause what? Cause what? You got some stores and something like that. We're supposed to be impressed. Right now, there was just a fight today. Right now. What are you talking about? It's probably some shooting today. And conscious whoever's not even telling you that you're hexing yourself. Because all you want to do is in the low vibratory pool. That's where you want to be. You're below the cesspool. Below the cesspool. This is history of United States of America from discovery of the continent to the Peace of La Chapelle by George Bancroft. History of the United States. In the 12th century, Pope Alexander III, true to the spirit of his office, which during the supremacy of the brute force in the Middle Age made of the chief minister of religion the tribune of the people and the guardian of the oppressed, had written, that nature, having made no slaves, all men have an equal right to liberty. But the slave trade had never relented among the Mohammedans. The captive Christian had no alternative but to apostasy or servitude, and the captive infidel was treated in Christendom with corresponding intolerance. In the days of the Crusaders, and in the camp of the leader, whose pious arms redeemed a sepulchre of Christ from the mixed nations of Asia and Libya, the price of war horse was 3 slaves. The Turks, whose laws forbids the enslaving of a Mohammedan, still continue to sell captives, and we have seen that the father of Virginia had himself tasted the bitterness of Turkish bondage. Still no black whatever is yet, right? All this might have had no influence on the destinies of America, but for the long and doubtful struggles between Christians and Moors in the west of Europe, where for more than 7 centuries and in more than 3,000 battles, the two religions were arrayed against each other, and bondage was the reciprocal doom of the captive. The reciprocal doom. If you lose, then you're a slave. Don't get mad, you lost. Don't get mad because we're up 50 and we want to do a windmill at the end of the game. Don't get mad. Why are you getting mad? We won. We get to do whatever it is that because he lost. That's how it goes in anything with competition. There's always going to be a loser. And Victor's telling the story until loser pulls up his stuff, goes and gets his shots up and all that stuff, and then and get him again the next battle. Let's just say thousands of battles that were going on. So I don't think it's just some random, get people, put them on a boat, send them somewhere, and then that means slavery. No, it doesn't. There'd be some type of war going on. So what the dummies over here have to figure out is what war was going on over here that made these people become prisoners of war. That they're still under that status today. Because they've abandoned their foremothers and forefathers. What they say in here? They say Christians and black guys. They say Christians and Africans. Christians and Libyans. Christians and, no, Moors. Who do you think they're talking about? Some random? That's very specific. They're telling you right there. But it's the denial, which is why we go into the thing of this is the sorcery. Because there ain't no way that you can't get this yet. There's no way that this is so hard for you to get still, that we're not Negro, black, colored, or Ethiopian, or Indian, or any of these other names, that we're Moors. This is not that hard. So there must be something else that's going on. Or this stuff is just assimilation or whatever, and then we're just going through this like some, we used to be on the video game. Okay, well, we're the video game now. Somebody has a joystick controlling us right now. Right? And whenever they unplug the thing, game's over. Right? France and Italy were filled with Saracen slaves. The number of them sold into Christian bondage exceeding the number of all the Christians ever sold by the pirates of Barbary. The clergy, who had pleaded successfully for the Christian, felt no sympathy for the unbeliever. The final victory of the Spaniards over the Moors of Granada, an event contemporary with the discovery of America, was signalized by the great emigration of Moors to the coast of northern Africa, where each mercantile city became a nest of pirates, and every Christian the wanted booty of the successful corsair. So the final victory with the Spaniards over the Moors, again, right? Not the Spaniards and the black guys, not the Spaniards and the Africans, not the Spaniards and the Indians, the Moors. Who do you think they're talking about? And an event contemporary with the discovery of America, this final victory over the Moors. When they're talking about America now, who do you think they're dealing with? Some black guys? Or they're dealing with some Indians now? Because they thought they were in India? No, they didn't. They didn't think they were in anywhere. They knew exactly where they were going. Didn't they have Moorish navigators and all that? Stop the BS. If they have Moorish navigators, then they knew where they were going. They were lost. They lost and they have a Moorish navigator who knows where he's going. What the hell are you talking about? Well, it messes up their whole game. Their whole Indian game. Because then why would he have a Moorish navigator if he's going to meet some Indians? Why didn't he have an Indian navigator? You're going to go to India. You're not going to take an Indian translator? Nobody speak Hindustan? Nothing? No? You take somebody speaking all these other languages, but no Indian languages. All right. Yeah. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. The only time it was not long after the first conquest of the Portuguese in Barbary that the passion for gain, the love of conquest, and the hatred of the infidels conducted their navy to the ports of Western Africa. Anthony Gonzalez, who had brought them to Portugal, was commanded to restore them to their ancient homes. He did so, and the Moors gave him their ransom, not only gold, but black Moors with curled hair. Thus Negro slaves came into Europe, and mercantile cupidity immediately observed that Negroes might become an object of lucrative commerce. So the Moors were the first slave masters, and everybody who wasn't a Moor was getting it. That's when you have long ships and mare of steel and all that. That if you're not with Islam, then we don't even need to be dealing with you. You know, conversations. This is the fear that they have. Well, when we get on top, then we're gonna do this stuff back to them again. Right? Like some revolving door BS. Well, no, dummy. We got the plan. It already came in manifest. The message has already been received. And Moors are throwing away those brand names and embracing our true nationality that was brought back to us. Because we took this road of it's okay to be fictions, thinking that it's not going to have some effect. Well, the effect is in your face right now with your unruly whoever's that you can't discipline them and all that stuff and all that. They're playing black games for too long. Now the stuff is boiling over and all that stuff. Stuff is catching a fire because now hot oil's flying all over the place and now you're talking crazy. But it's not hard. He gave us the principles. Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Just us living by that alone would mean that they don't got to worry about when Moors get back on top. If these Moors are saying that they're with Noble Drew Ali and all that, you got to worry about Moors who say that with the Prophet. The Prophet wasn't about some payback against some Europeans for something and all that. It was about getting our people out of darkness, out of blackness, into the marvelous light, their Moorish nationality and birthrights. And this is where all the honors is supposed to be going. To Noble Drew Ali and to all the Moors who were keeping this stuff alive that they tried to bury. Try to make you think that we were black the whole time. It wasn't for Moors. It wasn't for Drew Ali. You think that we came from slave ships and all that. We don't have Indian nothing. We know nothing about Indian nothing. Played around too long. And now you're getting what it is that's coming to you. Because you've been playing games. Openly, lovingly and willingly playing games. You want to play black games. You're the foundational black whoever's, and you're supposed, if slave master got reparations, not going to get, if slave master got reparations already, your black foundational asses, and you can't get anything yet, you still don't think that the game's rigged? You still think people are not playing games with you? If Princeton University African American Studies Department knows slave owners got reparations, you N-words can't get stuff yet. You still can't get nothing yet. And obviously it's not the system because reparations are given out. Chinese got slave owners got, Japanese got, Jewish got, probably some LMNOP, whoever's got, they definitely got some check. And you N-words can't figure this stuff out yet. Slave master getting reparations. No questions asked. Because they lost out on you. By you saying you're free, they went into debt. So they got reparations. Then you're free. And you still... You really think it's not because you're playing black games? What else could it be? What else could it be? Has to be something else, because if slave master could get in, you can't get yet. Something's wrong with you, dummy. Something must be wrong with you. Must be. You see 500 different flags?
I said, man, we got to quit.
800 different
heavy.
no?
Real heavy. Big heavy. This is a big heavy reminder, y'all. Before y'all go pick up them guns, before y'all go slide, before y'all go ride, before y'all go step, please understand. In the courtrooms, they giving out 170 years, bro. I promise you they is. I already got it. How much time you got, bro? 87. How much time you got? 55. 55, 87, and 170, all right here. That's 312 years. So like I'm telling y'all, before y'all go slide, listen to the music, pick up the gun, go let off the switch, please remember us. 170 years, 87 years, 55. Hey, y'all, they're tweaking. Y'all better stop playing, because they're not playing with y'all. That's real life. And what they're tweaking, bro. Reminder. Heavy reminder. They giving out time in the courtrooms, and they want you to do it. Stop playing.
Communist propaganda gone wrong. East Germany's communist government made one of the biggest propaganda miscalculations in Cold War history when they decided to show Beat Street in theaters on June 14, 1985. Just 1 year after its release in Western countries, the Socialist Unity Party officials and cultural functionaries thought the film would be perfect anti-capitalist propaganda because it showed the poverty, racial segregation, and urban decay that they believed demonstrated the failures of the American economic system. The East German authorities viewed Beat Street as an ideal educational tool that would teach young socialist citizens about the terrible conditions that black Americans faced under capitalism. They saw the rundown buildings, the struggles of the characters to make ends meet, and the urban environment as clear evidence of how capitalism oppressed working-class people, particularly minorities. In their minds, the film would reinforce their political message that socialism provided a better life for ordinary people than the capitalist West. However, the communist officials completely underestimated the power of hip-hop culture itself. While they focused on the movie's depiction of poverty and social problems, East German teenagers became absolutely fascinated by the breakdancing, graffiti art, rap music, and DJ techniques they saw on screen. Instead of being horrified by capitalist conditions, young people behind the Iron Curtain became inspired to create their own hip-hop culture and started forming breakdancing crews, practicing graffiti writing, and experimenting with rap music. The ironic result was that Beat Street, along with Wild Style, became credited with introducing and spreading hip-hop culture throughout both East and West Germany. Young East Germans began to see hip-hop as something that transcended political systems. It was a form of creative expression and cultural identity that they could adapt to their own circumstances. The communist government's attempt to use American urban problems as propaganda backfired spectacularly, as they accidentally imported one of America's most influential cultural movements into their socialist state. Communist propaganda...
Islam Moors, honors to all the Moors, wherever you're at. Happy Holy Day. We're here again for another one. Might not be here too long though. We'll see how it goes. Honors to all the Moors in the chat. So you see, you're not talking about any black something. Talking about a culture. People adopted. They don't look at black guys and say we want to be like black guys. They saw culture. Because, they're German. They are culture. And a lot of their ancient culture looks like us. Why wouldn't they gravitate to it? Why not? Right? Why not? Oh, Islam, yeah, books dropping on the 12th. On the 12th, the book's dropping. So, link will be put out bright and early on the 12th. And see what's good. So it's the culture that they're going with. They're going with the culture. Right? That's what we have to embrace. Not the identities. The identities are BS. That's not. It's not about the identity. There's more than that going on. There's more than the what do they call them? That's going on. There's activity of these people, and Germans, being their foremothers and forefathers. And then they got introduced to somebody else's culture. Then they adopted it. And now you find me somebody breaking right now. That's not us. And they're all over. All over. All different skin tones. All different skin tones DJing. All different skin tones cook food. Because it's culture. Not something limited to one individual. It's culture. Everybody has drums in their culture. Stop the BS. Everybody has instruments. Black guys have some market on something. Everybody has it. And when you check everybody's foundation, regardless of their skin tone, it's going to go back to somebody looking like us is their foundation. So stop the cultural appropriation BS and all that. All of it is everybody's stuff. Now, because some people want to take superiority positions and all that stuff, that's a whole other thing. Superiority positions that people take.
Residents were given 90 days to leave as AI companies plan data center next door. 90 days.
No better place to live than out here, man.
Pastor Greg Jones loves this home that he bought 7 years ago. Now, along with everyone else living in Meadowland Village, he's being forced to move.
That's what makes it very difficult, is realizing you come home one day and realize, man, you got to move all this.
At the same time, a Fortune 50 company has submitted a proposal to build a data center on 2,000 plus acres of farmland beside a residential area in Maysville.
As I watched this video, I asked myself, how many more people have to lose their homes in order for us to have the convenience of AI? Facts over feelings. Data centers worldwide consume 32% more electricity than all of Britain. And they're building them right next to black neighborhoods so people that they find exposable and disposable don't give a damn about. That's not
interesting.
Now what do we have here?
So I'm on the other side of Brooklyn, in Clinton Hills. I'm on Washington Avenue, not far from Flushing, right off of Park Avenue over here. Nice neighborhood, beautiful properties, you know what I mean? A lot of walk-ups, we're not with that business, but Look, even the scaffolding is artistic. Very nice neighborhood. And then we came past the park over in Washington Playground. Look at what they're doing. You know, the playground, they got the glass backboards, freshly paved ground. The whole park is looking brand new. I could have probably ate off of the ground. Ain't nothing wrong with that, you know what I mean? The neighborhood, the resident, the community, they need a park and a playground to go to, but that's every neighborhood. And they need a state-of-the-art modern facility, not just this neighborhood. Now, meanwhile, back at the ranch in Brownsville, I'm over here in Brownsville, and I just had to document this because the Parks Department, the mayor's office, the city hall, the governor, everybody that's responsible for allotting these funds for these areas right here so that the parks could be updated, upgraded. Somebody is seriously dropping the ball and not on the job. And it's very unacceptable because in this neighborhood, Brownsville, we're a community of thousands as well, and where they need a park as well, where they have kids as well, this is what the playground looks like. This is Dr. Green Playground, also known as 284 Park. It's right on Mother Gaston. Sutter Avenue. It spans all the way down to Blake. But look at the basketball court. Look at this, man. They actually played a tournament on this last year, just like this, in the same conditions. Yeah, this park looked like it ain't been done and upgraded and updated since the 70s.
Why? Why is that? Why is that? This is why we go to the master teachers. And we have masters. We don't just learn from some dummy who could go live. We learn from people who were authors. They wrote books and stuff like that. They've been doing classes. They've been doing lectures going all over the place. Some jack-a going live telling you about, and then you're going to go do some stuff that they said. Super off. That's why you keep getting played and nothing gets done ever. Because you have 1% doing the work of 99%. And 99% are standing around playing Negro black colored games and Indian games. Instead of having a nationality like all the other civilized people of the world. The act of abandonment in law. Abandonment. The surrender, relinquishment, disclaimer, or cession of property or of rights. Voluntary relinquishment of all right, title, claim, and possession with the intention of not reclaiming it. The giving up of a thing absolutely without reference to any particular person or purpose, as vacating property with the intentions of not returning. Oh, let me help you out so you don't blame me when you don't get this. The N-words don't read. Okay, let's see. Let's see. The giving up of a thing, absolutely, without reference to any particular person or purpose, as vacating property with the intention of not returning so that it may be appropriated by the next comer or finder. Right, that's gentrification right there. Then you look around, oh, this must be abandoned because it doesn't seem like anything going on here. Even though people are walking around and all that stuff like that with bags and all that, you know what I mean, children running, it's interesting. You know, we can just bulldoze this and build a new... People are walking by it while they're doing this. Why? Because of abandonment. Because these people abandoned their nationality and their birthright, so now they're in wardship. And a ward is like a slave. And that means you don't have rights. That means you don't get basketball court without the grass growing in the middle of it. That's the basketball courts you get. You get the wooden backboard basketball courts. You get the tennis courts with the net just on the ground, even though it's hooked up. And then you're playing too. No net. Right? And your track for your track and field has grass on it. That's what you get because of abandonment. Not because of racism and prejudice. Because of abandonment. The voluntary intention to forsake or relinquish the thing is an essential element to be proved by visible acts. The voluntary relinquishment of possession of a thing by owner with intention of terminating his ownership, but without vesting it in any other person. The relinquishment of all title, possession, or claim, or a virtual, intentional throwing away of property. Abandonment includes both intention to abandon and the external act by which the intentions carried into effect. The determining whether one has abandoned his property or rights. The intention is the first and paramount object of inquiry, for there can be no abandonment without the intention to abandon. Generally, abandonment can arise from a single act or form of series of acts. So the single act. You're black. Doesn't matter what you call ourselves. We're Indian because the grandma said. We're African because the slave trade and all that's fine, cool and dandy. But what right are you using to claim that? No problem, you can claim that, but what right are you using to claim that? Because black, African, Indian, and all that stuff, those things don't have rights. There's no rights that apply to those. So by you going with it, remember, this is not some far-fetched thing. Nobody, no other people identify themselves as colors and land masses and all that. Nobody does that. Nobody has. Nobody has taken that position of identifying themselves as a color other than the rainbow whoever's. And look how far they got with their fake flag and their fake stuff that they're doing. The absolute go against nature. Going against nature. Way of life has gotten further in their exercising of their right than the black guys and the Negroes and the colors and everybody else who's playing, it doesn't matter what we call ourselves, games. Obviously it matters. Because these people call themselves something fake and they got away with it. And then you're calling yourself something fake and you can't get nothing. Every time we talk to you about some Indian stuff, we're talking about Trail of Tears and Black Wall Street and all some sorrow stuff. You have no good stuff to talk about? Nothing happy? Nothing great that the Indians did for us to say, oh wow, the Indians did nothing? Can't show me something that these Indians did or nothing. All you're showing me is costumes and dancing around. And you go check the black whoever, same thing. Laying around, doing nothing. Nothing civilized. When you know that you should be doing something civilized. You know that whoever said, let's have this basketball tournament with the court, with the cracks, with the grass growing out of it and all that. Whoever said, let's have it, they have enough clout that they should have talked to somebody who's supposed to talk to somebody who's supposed to talk to somebody to make them come repave this thing so we can have a basketball tournament. For real. Because in every other neighborhood, which some other nation, this is their neighborhood or whatever like that, look how they get their stuff done. Majority of the time, it's people in their own community putting up the funds to do whatever it is that they want done for the community. Not going to no council meeting and waiting for some whoever to pass something for them to do. No. Whoever's going to put up their finance and then just say, yep, just put my name on it right there and then I'm good. Right? Because nations look out for their own. They don't abandon their nation to go be a fiction and then complain as a fiction that things aren't going well for the fiction, we need to do something. Insanity. Don't abandon. But you have to know what these things are so you don't abandon. Which is why you need master teachers. Because I'm seeing people jumping off Eiffel Tower and talking about diving. You're playing yourself. This doesn't work like that. All that fool stuff that they've been telling you online about status correction and all this stuff, and they're not telling you about nationality and Noble Drew Ali and that we're Moors and all that. If you started from there and went with them, you're done. Because you abandon. Because you have the right to a nationality. Because all of them are going to be telling they're quoting UN documents and all that. All of them are going to be using UN as a, so what's your nationality though? How are you using UN as a reference point and then you don't even have a nationality with the UN is telling you you have a right to that? In all of the declarations. And then the same thing goes for the Indian whoever's, that they're going to be using UN Declaration of Rights. Oh yeah, UN drip, we have the right. Okay, what about right to a nationality? Because you tell me you're Indian. You tell me about some tribe. That ain't nationality. You quoting UN, but you don't have a nationality? Pfft, the hell out of here. Who you playing games with? Playing games with somebody. And you're playing yourself more than likely. So it would be wise to not play yourself. You know? Slow your roll and do some real studying. Not that fake studying that you people are doing today. Not this fake studying stuff you people are doing. And studying so much you don't even have time for anything else. It's a ring deal. It never fails. Well, as we know, it is holy day. So let's get holy. Noble Drew Ali, Moor's Quran. Holy instructions from the prophet. Charity. Happy is the man who has sworn in his breast the seeds of benevolence. The produce thereof shall be charity and love. From the fountain of his heart shall rise rivers of goodness, and the stream shall overflow for the benefit of mankind. He assisteth the poor in their trouble. He rejoiceth in the furthering the prosperity of all men. He censureth not his neighbor. He believeth not the tales of envy and malevolence. Neither repeateth he their slanders. He forgiveth the injuries of men. He wipeth them from his remembrance. Revenge and malice have no place in his heart. For evil he returneth not evil. He hateth not even his enemies, but requireth their injustice with a friendly admonition. The griefs and anxieties of men excite his compassion. He endeavoreth to alleviate the weight of their misfortunes, and the pleasure of success rewardeth his labor. He calmeth the fury. He healeth the quarrels of angry men, and preventeth the mischiefs of strife and animosity. He promoteth in his neighborhood peace and goodwill, and his name is repeated with praise and benedictions. Right, that's uplifting fallen humanity. Charity. Rejoicing in the furthering the prosperity of all men. So when we're going to praise them when things are going good, when they're on their lowest lows, you got to praise them too. Assisteth the poor in their trouble, whatever trouble that might be. Malice has no place in the heart. That's because that's where you meet Allah, where malice be there. There's no revenge when we call out traders and package sellers and all these people. It's out of love for humanity that we expose the frauds, whatever shapes and forms they present themselves in. It's a duty that Moors have, knowing the truth about the nationality and birthrights and what was done to Noble Drew Ali. We have some obligations to this, because we know what was done. Because there shouldn't be anybody talking about they're black and all that stuff right now. There shouldn't be anybody saying that. Since the 20s. But he's the man. He set it up. He set it up for all the Moors.
That ain't even turned YNs yet. Hey, look, the streets get grimy, gang. I'm talking about real grimy, like a nigga brain matter all on your face. Nigga get shot from the back while he goddamn, you beside him, passenger seat, nigga blow his brains out, applesauce on the dashboard, gang. Spooky nights, you hear the bushes creeping, nigga, you hear the bushes moving, the wind blowing whole time, a nigga in them bitches, you get blew down, and you thought it was the bush just shaking. Look, my nigga, I say this shit to say that, bro, like, stay out the streets, gang. Like, go do something with your life, bro. Like, this shit not cut for nobody at all, for real, but the niggas who put themselves through it, at the end of the shit, at the end of the road, them niggas be traumatized and be like, damn, bro, stay out the streets. Don't be too late, gang. Learn off other motherfuckers' mistakes, bro. Before you know, you're gonna look up all your homies dead in jail. You done witnessed a couple murders, you traumatized, PTSD. This shit ain't worth it, folks.
Do you think America reflects any ancient empire?
Of course, America is, yes. America is ancient Atlantis. What do you think we got the name Atlanta? In La Ceiba in Honduras,
Yeah.
the state is called Atlantida, which is Atlantis in Spanish.
And we're beach people too.
Yeah, we got Atlantida. In Colombia, we got another departamento called Atlantida. We got Atlanta, and then the Mexicas, which are the Aztecs. Remember, in the Mexica story,
Mayans and Aztecs.
they descended from Aztlan, which is really Atlan and Atlantis.
Do you think America reflects any ancient empire?
Of course, America is, yes. America is ancient Atlantis. What do you think we got the name Atlanta? In La Ceiba in Honduras,
Yeah.
the state is called Atlantida, which is Atlantis in Spanish.
And we're beach people too.
Yeah, we got Atlantida. In Colombia, we got another departamento called Atlantida. We got Atlanta, and then the Mexicas, which are the Aztecs. Remember, in the Mexica story,
Mayans and Aztecs.
they descended from Aztlan, which is really Atlan and Atlantis.
Do you think
These maps are racist tools of white supremacy at the behest of the most powerful white supremacist in the United States of America, Donald J. Trump. Memphis is the most beautiful place on the planet. It's the place that raised me, my brothers, my parents, my grandmothers, and where my ancestors' bones rest. And what you are doing today is eviscerating the only black majority congressional district in our state because we are majority black. This is about attacking, targeting, and cracking District 9 into pieces for more political and racial dominance and white supremacy in the state of Tennessee. You put us on cotton plantations and tobacco plantations. You denied our human rights and our right to exist as children of God, and we are still here. You destroyed Tulsa. You killed and lynched black folks on Poplar Tree. Shelby County, Tennessee had the most lynchings of anywhere in this state where you're taking this district, and we are still here. No matter how much you try and break us and make us bend and make us quit, we will still be here.
Don't forget Supreme Court. Remember, this is Supreme Court ruling. Keep in mind. This is. Chief Justice Robert B. Taney famously wrote in the majority opinion for the case that black people had no rights which the white man was bound to respect, and that the Negro might justly and lawfully be reduced to slavery for his benefit. He was bought and sold and treated as an ordinary article of merchandise and traffic whenever profit could be made by it. Made by it. What's it? Is it a human being? No, it's not. So as soon as your leaders start doing this black thing, and you think they're for your benefit, they're playing you, because Chief Justice told these people, all that yelling is not going to do anything. How long they been yelling? How long they been yelling? How long they been shouting? Running up and down the place? Blocking traffic? People late for stuff. They are wait for these people to do protests and all this. You realize nothing happened? You ever wonder why nothing ever happens? With all this protesting, nothing happens. You never wonder why? Maybe because the black man, black people have no rights, which the white man's bound to respect. He's talking about white supremacy up in there, isn't he? Right, and he's saying he's black man, right? All right, so are you seeing them respected? Didn't this still drag them out of there? I really don't think you're getting it. I don't think you're getting it. It's still emotional, right?
They did burn Tulsa. They did do a Memphis massacre. They did lynch us on Poplar Tree. Too damn bad! And still, we're here. Yeah. So our message to the white supremacists who have decided that we somehow have lost.
I find that the African American experience for me has been
that this is finally the nail in the coffin. We hear the echoes of our ancestors who have still made real the ideals of the Constitution written on that parchment of paper in our blood, that are we the people. The reason I love those three words aren't because they old, it's because it sounds so black. We the people. 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 We, the people who believe in fairness and justice and equality. We, the people. The people who know that the best days for Tennessee are still ahead. We, the people. Who will not bow down. We, the people. Who will not quit. We, the people. Who will change this state and this nation and this whole world. Because that's what our ancestors did. We, the people. We, the people. We, the people.
Oh, don't forget, Chief Justice Robert B. Taney famously wrote in the majority opinion for the case that black people have no rights which the white man is bound to respect, and that the Negro might justly and lawfully be reduced to slavery for his benefit. He was bought and sold and treated as an ordinary article of merchandise and traffic, wherever profit could be made by it. You still think it's a game? It's happening in your face, big dummy. You can't see this happening in your face? It's ruled on the Supreme Court. Did you appeal something? No, you didn't. So the black man, black people have zero rights that the white man's bound to respect. This is why you had Noble Drew Ali in the 1920s talking like this to Moors. Political slavery. Anytime a man or a woman fails or refuses to cast a sacred ballot at the polls, they separate themselves from all rights of an American citizen. For surely this is the only connecting medium for a citizen to his nation. They become no more than belated beasts of burdens. There are reasons why certain classes who are more or less independent take no part in politics, since they say that they got nothing out of such in the way of material gain. This is no less than a political slave, since they refuse to voice their sentiments at the polls. Not just in the street running around blocking traffic for no reason. At the polls. Another form of political slavery which is probably more prevalent among the less independent classes, is that of being forced into one of the major parties and are bribed, coerced, or otherwise forced to vote the wishes of someone else regardless of their own minds. Before there can be general relief for the economic good of all forms of political slavery must be abolished in every citizen, and every citizen must take part in the affairs of the nation. That's Noble Drew Ali. So if Noble Drew Ali was talking like this in the 1920s, do you mind? 20s, he's talking like this. And he then says, all registering. The 3,000 Muslims of the Grand Temple and the West Side Temple are making ready to register every member, every man or woman, in order to take the lead for the various candidates whom they have been instructed to vote for. Alderman Louis B. Anderson, Honorable George W. Blackwell, Honorable Oscar DePriest, Honorable H. Jackson, all working through the regular Republican organizations of which the Honorable Daniel M. Jackson is our matchless leader. All know the whole situation and have their own way and time to give the order to go. The Muslims will be ready. And people played around. Right? They played games. They did their best to play games. And praise Allah for this photographer that gave us Noble Drew Ali and Oscar DePriest together when Oscar DePriest was running for office. Who they say the first black congressman, everybody knows Oscar DePriest if they're at Mecca, the Rack. If they're there, they know about Oscar DePriest. So you can't tell me Jack. Well, they don't know where they and all that. What's Oscar DePriest doing with Noble Drew Ali? What do you think was happening? Register to vote, cast the sacred vote at the ballot, vote for your people, right? There's our people right there. Vote for our boy. So when he goes in office, he's going to work for us. What the hell, what you mean? And he got in office. Everybody knows he got in office. Don't play around like Noble Drew Ali didn't do everything already. Everything was done already. Your own soul you to F out. So you're marching up and down the place like a dummy and nothing's happening for decades. You've been walking up and down the place trying to get something happening and nothing has happened. Don't worry, I know. I was out there wearing out sneakers too, like a big dummy. Don't forget, to remind you again, we keep beating you in the head with this bat today. Chief Justice Robert B. Taney famously wrote, "The black people have no rights which the white man is bound to respect, and that the Negro might justly and lawfully be reduced to slavery for his benefit." And then you could put whatever slavery on it. Economic slavery, mental slavery, spiritual slavery, you name the slavery. Any slavery that you see our people under today is because of this black BS, this hex that they put on themselves. You're on here looking like an idiot when Moore's getting people in office.
And we need to realize that the Calais decision that you all are basing your decisions off of, that gutted the Voting Rights Act, that Voting Rights Act was paid in blood. It was not just a parchment of paper signed into law. It was paid in blood on the Edmund Pettus Bridge. Paid in blood by Medgar Evers. Paid in blood by Fannie Lou Hamer. It's been paid in blood year over year, time after time, assassination after assassination.
And you still don't have anything. When are you gonna, what, you still murder all the leaders, is still nothing. Because you were supposed to be following Noble Drew Ali's program from the 1930s. And your own effed you. So those leaders were murdered in vain. All the leaders locked up and all that stuff, all the work that they did was in vain. Okay, sitting here listening to traitors trying to convince you about something. These people are traitors. As soon as they start talking black, that's it. There's not even supposed to be any listening to hear what else they got to say or whatever like that. As soon as they go black, that's it. They don't count. Immediately. And going back again, everybody knows. Right? You know Henry Louis Gates, right? You know him. Henry Louis Gates Jr.? You know him, right? Okay. African American Lives. Henry Louis Gates Jr. By the late 1920s, the MSTA had become a political force in Chicago and played an important role in the election of Oscar de Priest to the U.S. House of Representatives in 1928, the first African American elected from the northern state. Oh yeah, and don't forget, Unity Hall was Oscar de Priest's building. That was his building. This is who the Moors were affiliated with because of Noble Drew Ali and his fame and nobility that all these people were jealous of, which is why they murdered him, and then they still didn't get the fame and nobility. Because nobody was working with the temple if it wasn't to Noble Drew Ali. He told them that. You guys not going to make it. Everything has to be done through the prophet. Nah, we're just going to murder him and then say we're Noble Drew Ali as if people are dumb. People played you out your birthright. And they're still around today in many different phantom forms, playing you still. Still playing you. Yeah, you want to hear what Moors are saying? Nope, no problem. You just had that spike bat. You just spike bat you till you get it. Patrick D. Bowen, A History of Conversion to Islam. By the summer of 1928, Drew Ali had better mobilized his Moors, reportedly by using Wednesday night meetings in which members were taught the MSTA political agenda and platform. In August, the Prophet, probably taking a cue from the UNIA's political activities in 1924, began sending Moors out to register to vote for the upcoming elections. In Detroit, this led to some conflicts due to what appears to have been other miscommunication concerning Drew Ali's concept of the free national name. Upon conversion and receiving their Moorish surnames, El or Bey, most members, having been raised in the black folk tradition, immediately began insisting on using the new name in all aspects of their lives. But because they did so without making a legal name change, when the Detroit Moors went en masse to register to vote, city officials refused to authorize their registrations unless the Moors agreed to use their legal names, which few Moors did. Further complicating the matter was the Moors' refusal to be marked down as Negro. They of course insisted on being listed in this government document as Moorish, which unsurprisingly confused and frustrated the city employees who had to seek advice for handling the Moors' persistent demands to be registered. Sound familiar? Doesn't that sound like every Moor who said, forget that Negro black BS. I'm Moorish American. Here's my stuff. And then the response from them, every Moor. That's every Moor situation. And remember, this is talking about 20s, just to show you how, history repeats itself. Soon, the priests and several other so-called black political figures in Chicago were courting the Moorish vote, even attending the group's convention that fall and various later gatherings. When the new year commenced, the MSTA kept up its strong push for political influence. Drew Ali attended the Illinois governor's inauguration, and the group's supreme business manager, Claude D. Green, wrote a piece for the Chicago Defender supporting the re-election of Alderman Louis B. Anderson. All these people know what they're gonna do. They're gonna come out here playing their little black games with you.
Hey everybody, it's Rep. Justin T. Pearson. We're debating HB 1802, which would in essence lower the standard for being able to kill someone with lethal and deadly force if they are stealing property or burglarizing, which would have a detriment, or trespassing. So if a poor person's on your property, you would be able to shoot and kill them if you're able to claim that it's in self-defense, but the people who would be able to defend you would be dead. And so I'm fighting this legislation. So many other representatives, even some Republicans, are deeply concerned about this. It's a bill by Representative Capley, and again, that is number HB.
I want y'all to take a look at this.
I ain't stirring no fuss. I'm just here trying to register to vote. Recite the Constitution's preamble. You know what a preamble is? We the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union. How many county judges in Alabama? 67. Name them.
Miss Oprah Winfrey was portraying a woman by the name of Miss Annie Lee Cooper. And while that may have just been a movie scene, that actually happened to Miss Annie Cooper in real life.
And many, many, many others. Why? Because they wanted to play Negro, black, colored games instead of being free people. They wanted to be people as slaves that came off the plantation instead of being prisoners of war. And played generations into this game until Drew Ali came in the 1920s and straightened things up, got everything back in order. With us about to be on top, bringing Oscar the Priest in office, and that was just gonna snowball into an avalanche. Because it would be unstoppable. Why? Because it's not under the brand name. These are Moors went to vote to get Oscar the Priest in office. Moors went to vote. It wasn't Negroes going to vote. Spencer Dew, the Aliites. In what would become a hallmark of Aliite tradition, Ali offered evidence, objective proof for his claims. Another famous early photograph, still cited by Aliites today as demonstrating the efficacy and achievability of Aliite claims, illustrates this. A group shot. This image frames Ali with men and women from his MSTA, as well as special guests whose presence at a Moorish event the community wanted to preserve on film. Ali wears regalia befitting the title of a prophet. He leans back in a chair, garlanded with flowers, wearing a robe and sash, along with a turban with feathers extended at the crown. His fellow Moorish Americans likewise wear various forms of eye-catching headwear and garments that visually proclaim their nationality. The fez, the most iconic of male Moorish headwear, is here, as is the turban, the most popular Moorish headwear for women. There is some variation as well, including one boldly striped pharaonic headdress. Like the striking pharaonic headdress that a Moor is wearing. Not ancient Egyptian, a Moor. But, save that for another time. Flanking the Moorish Americans are representative political and economic leaders of the Chicago's so-called Black Belt. Among those paying their respects to Ali and the MSTA is Jesse Binger, founder of the first privately owned African American bank in Chicago, Louis Anderson, incumbent alderman, city council representative for the predominantly so-called black Second Ward, up for re-election, and Oscar DePriest, candidate for U.S. Congress, soon to be the first so-called African American elected to such an office since the early fleeting days of Reconstruction. These last two are part of the slate of the Republican Party machine courted by Ali, with promises of a sizable Moorish American voting bloc and an even larger MSTA-led voter registration drive. These three figures remain particularly important in Aliite memory, with quotes from them praising MSTA frequently repeated in Aliite texts. For example, the priest stating that I feel that with the help of the Moorish Americans in this city that I have won. The photograph serves as evidence of Ali's teachings and their efficacy. This event, with the MSTA hosting local power brokers, represents the culmination of the project of proclaiming nationality, not merely citizenship status, but citizenship in practice, a process of political engagement that leads to social transformation. And that's 1920s. Right at critical mass. Because go look up Jesse Binger, and then you see what he was bringing to the table. And then you see why everybody was jealous of Noble Drew Ali. These Moors were so jealous of Noble Drew Ali. But they all wanted to play him. They all wanted to play Like their boy Sweet Daddy Grace. Everybody wanted to be the prophet. All of them. All of them in their organization. Their people wore fezzes and all that. Turbans, and don't let them play you or fool you like they don't know what's up. Right? They all know what's up. They're playing holier than thou instead of giving Noble Drew Ali his honors. Because all the stuff that they have, they took it from Noble Drew Ali after they murdered him and got him out the way. They know what they're doing. They know exactly what they're doing. Let them play you. All of them know the foundation is Noble Drew Ali and don't want to give Noble Drew Ali his honors. They all know. All of them. Don't fall for it that they don't know. They damn well know. And they're running everything in their power to keep the people deaf, dumb, and blind so they can't figure this thing out. And the best way to keep them blind is
hey, this one here home. I'm gonna send this out to the YBs. I ain't gonna call them YNs, I'm gonna call them YBs, young brothers. Listen, respect your parents and respect
their consciousness is black. Not the
you
spirituality.
have respect for your dead man before he met his demise. Y'all knew he was heading in the wrong direction. And then one of y'all tried to guide him to the new direction. So with that said, respect your parents, respect their living before you end up like your dead man's or you end up like me, live from MCU. And that's on my soul. Peace of King Tut. Hey, this one here home. I'm gonna send this out to the YBs. I ain't gonna call them YNs, I'm gonna call them YBs, young brothers. Listen, respect your parents and respect the living. It seems like y'all got more respect for the dead than y'all do the living. But that's not true, because if you have respect for your dead man before he met his demise, y'all knew he was heading in the wrong direction. And then one of y'all tried to guide him to the new direction. So with that said, respect your parents, respect their living before you end up like your dead man's or you end up like me, live from MCU. And that's on my soul.
I was going to give a positive note out to the kids. Stay in school. Don't come to jail. Don't be like me. You know what I'm saying? I made a wrong decision in my life. I might make jail look fun, but this ain't fun. Everybody want to go home here at the end of the day. Like, I'd rather be in the streets doing my music and all that instead of being here having the high phones and, you know, fighting with people, you know, riots. I don't want to go through that, man.
That's real shit, man. You feel me? Every day in here is stressful. You understand me? You understand how much shit that we missed out in life. You feel me? From graduations to marriages. You feel me? We missed out a lot of family time. You feel me? Always remember, man, your worst day out there is better than my best day in here. You understand me? So let that sink in. You feel me? Get your education. You understand me? This shit ain't fun. You feel me? This shit ain't for nobody.
I've been in jail 7 years already, man.
Real shit.
7 years. I'm ready to come home, man.
Real shit.
I know y'all watch my Instagram. Oh, he turned up. He doing all this, but fuck all that. This shit ain't cool. We fight each other. I was going to give a positive note out to the kids. Stay in school. Don't come to jail. Don't be like me. You know what I'm saying? I made a wrong decision in my life. I might make jail look fun, but this ain't fun. Everybody want to go home here at the end of the day. Like, I'd rather be in the streets doing my music and all that instead of being here having the high phones and, you know, fighting with people, you know, riots. I don't want to go through that, man.
That's real shit, man. You feel me? Every day in here is stressful. You understand me? You understand how much shit that we missed out in life. You feel me? From graduations to marriages. You feel me? We missed out a lot of family time. You feel me? Always remember, man, your worst day out there is better than my best day in here. You understand me? So let that sink in. You feel me? Get your education. You understand me? This shit ain't fun.
Ain't fun.
This shit ain't for nobody.
I've been in jail 7 years already, man. 7 years. I'm ready to come home, man.
Benson was convicted of his role in Isabella's murder. Police said gunfire from him and his brother missed their intended target. At sentencing, the judge did not hold back.
And I've seen the videos and the pictures of all the boys with the Dracos and the ARs, a bunch of fake wannabe NBA young boys who can't look a person in their eyes who they have a beef with and say, this is why I have a beef with you.
At trial, prosecutors said what led the brothers to spray bullets into several homes, including Isabella's, was a spat on social media.
Instead, they get these guns and they post on the gram, they post on Facebook, and they show videos and pictures of empty clips of what they just did, send it back to their own phone, portraying this sense of false bravado, toughness. Y'all saw, all of y'all weak. All of y'all soft in those pictures.
Benson had this to say before he learned his sentence.
I'd like to apologize to the family. And more so, apologize to my family, putting them through the situation. And that's really it.
Isabella's aunt said she wanted Benson to ask God for forgiveness every day he's in prison. And then she said this about his crimes.
I want you to think about it. And you think about it hard.
Benson was convicted of his role in Isabella's murder.
We are, in Jefferson County, tired of young people running around here with guns. You put a gun to somebody's head. We're lucky you haven't killed somebody because that's the path you're on. You've had opportunities at probation, and unfortunately, those haven't worked. You've actually already had 2. You were sent to TJJD, you got out, you still committed offenses, and then you got probation again, and then you're here. So all this talk of I want to do right and I'm going to do better is just a bunch of baloney. The way you can't follow the rules in jail shows me same pattern. You can't follow the rules. So this time, in clause number 23 DCCR 0993, I'm going to find sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and at this time find you guilty of unauthorized use of a vehicle. I'm going to sentence you to a term of 2 years in the state jail prison. You will receive credit on that sentence for any time that you've been in custody that the law gives you the right to receive. In clause number, and these are all just open. So in clause number 23 DCCR 0991, I'm going to find sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and at this time find you guilty of evading arrest or detention with the use of a vehicle. I'm going to sentence you to a term of 10 years in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Corrections. You will receive credit on that sentence for any time that you've been in custody that the law gives you the right to receive. In clause number 23 DCCR 0992, I'm going to find sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and at this time find you guilty of aggravated robbery. Sentence you to a term of 25 years in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Corrections. Mr. Chopin, I take no pleasure in giving out a sentence like this, but I feel like what I have to do is protect Jefferson County for people like you. I hope you take advantage of any programs. You're still young. You're going to get out of prison. You're going to be young still and have a lot of your life ahead of you. I hope what you do while you're in prison is do what you're saying you really want to do, is get your life together. There's programs you can get out. You can have education when you get out. They offer that. And hopefully be a productive member of society instead of
Constitution. That is a violation of the Constitution. I will not allow you to destroy our democracy. That is a violation of the Constitution. It is. It's a violation of the Constitution. I'm out of order for y'all are doing illegal things to the state of Georgia. It is out of order. It is out of order. It is out of order.
Honors to all the Moors worldwide. Honors to those who study. You know, you might just be reading the Constitution, and then you just decide to look up something in the Constitution. Just studying, no big deal. But it's interesting when you read, since N-words don't read, it's interesting what's out there when you read. Go talk to Steve Hank. Don't talk to Moors. Don't talk to Cujo and none of that. If you have any problems, if you think anything is, if you think anything is out of order, go talk to Steve. Playing damn games. Yeah, you have all the people in prison. How the hell they even have a phone? I don't know. They're even telling you, stop the dumb stuff. Every level, from the YB level to the pre-adult to adult to professional to on every level, they're playing people. And you're just sitting there getting played because N-words don't read. N-words want to do everything else except read. They want to know how come this and how come that and why only them and all this. Stop the BS. That's what it is. The people in prison are telling you stop the BS. Not that they weren't saying something before, but now they got phone, they got Wi-Fi, internet, and all that stuff. Right? Satellite could see a pimple on a mosquito, but they don't know about what phone's in there. Stuff is rigged. It's been rigged. Why is it rigged? Because it's playing games. You want democracy? Fine. Let's see if everybody else takes that position. Professor Hank provides one of the most insightful analysis of the Founding Fathers and their documents that I have ever read. Instead of considering the Founders' documents with our present views, biases, and prejudices, he focuses on their essential original meaning. Many will be shocked to learn that the word democracy was neither used in the Declaration of Independence nor in the Constitution. Indeed, the Founding Fathers were anxious and fearful of allowing any form of tyranny, including tyranny of the majority. And that's Brother Jacques, advisor to the DNP Paribas in Paris and formerly the president of the European Bank for Reconstruction and Development, the managing director of whatever BS. All these people know what's up. But you want to sit around, talk crazy about you should have that, you should have this, when you're not even worthy to have anything. You're not even worthy. I understand all the Moors, by the way, who know who they are and know that they're not the fictions and know that democracy is a fiction. And anybody talking democracy is just as incompetent as being brown and saying they're black. It's the same level of incompetence. Most people, including most Americans, would be surprised to learn that the word democracy does not appear in the Declaration of Independence, 1776, or the Constitution of the United States of America, 1789. They would also be shocked to learn the reason for the absence of the word democracy in the founding documents. Contrary to what propaganda has led the public to believe, America's founding fathers were skeptical and anxious about democracy. They were aware of the evils that accompany a tyranny of the majority. The framers of the Constitution went to great lengths to ensure that the federal government was not based on the will of the majority. and was not, therefore, democratic. Was not democratic. Now, what's interesting is, don't forget, this is 1789. You know, there's no Canada right now. You know, there's nothing called Canada and all that stuff, because that's 1867. You know, 13 colonies is over there. They got their little plot. They were supposed to be in their plot. Somehow, they end up in the mainland and all this. But then they have people like Benjamin Banneker Bay designing their cities and all that. Why is there how come nobody told you Benjamin Banneker's a bay? I never told you that. You know Big Ben clock? Big Ben? You know that's Benjamin Banneker Bay, right? You know Big Ben? That's not a clock name. That's the Moor who... Look, go research Benjamin Banneker Bay and United States of America government and all that. So you can see that we were the ones in control of stuff around here. As far as the mainland, not out there in the colonies. In the mainland, we were running stuff. All these buildings that you see around here, some Europeans came in and built these. They inherited, they took over, because we fell asleep playing Negro black colored slave games and Indian games. And so now they come and they remember the founding fathers said republic. How come these people saying democracy today? And then how come you are riding with them when they're saying democracy? When democracy is not what's in the documents? Remember, Canada doesn't have a constitution because that's a colony. The colony is not. That's not a country. Since when is a colony a country? Who said a colony is a country? Right. And realize that all these places where these people take this position of their boat lands there, and then they can do. It's a bay that they go into. That's why the founding of this is Hudson Bay, which is a corporation. That's not a country. Remember, 1789. Europeans are in the mainland setting up some type of governmental thing, right? For them, for Europeans. Nowhere in their founding documents does it say democracy. Nowhere. Let's go back. Let's see what else Steve has to say. If the framers of the Constitution did not embrace democracy, what did they adhere to? To a man, the framers agreed that the purpose of government was to secure citizens in John Locke's trilogy of the rights of life, liberty, and property. The framers wrote extensively and eloquently. On property, for example, John Adams wrote that the moment the idea is admitted into society that property is not as sacred as the laws of God, and that there is not a force of law and public justice to protect it, anarchy and tyranny commence. What you've been witnessing. Tyranny, isn't it? People with the mask kicking in your door while you're sleeping and all that stuff. You don't think that's tyranny? Or you think that's just some guys trying to rob your house and all that? Well, that's the same democracy stuff that you beg for. That was a fraud, that you fell for it. Now look at what's going on now. Because you fell for democracy, you got blanketed over with the democracy. Now look what's going on. Because you're playing democracy games. And you didn't think that it was, something so subtle could cause this big issue. It's only democracy. It's just a word. Words shape reality. Because words are thoughts. And then once you think it, that's what it's going to be. But if you're thinking brown is black, and you're going around, but you're never calling brown things black, but all of a sudden, when it comes to people, you're brown, but you're black. But a brown thing is never black. Ever. Never looked at a brown thing and said, hey, that's a black whatever. Never. And never, ever, ever. But when it comes to people, though, this warped idea, all that is because playing democracy games. And this is just in the form of government realm. We're not talking about spirituality and none of that. In the government realm, as soon as you say democracy, you're about to be somebody's food. Let's see what else. Remember this is Steve. Don't get mad at Moors. Moors are There he goes in once again, just so you could look it up, so you could go read. Just look up On Democracy versus Liberty by Steve Hank. So then we go to the master teachers. How does this thing really play? Like what's really going on? What's happening now on the broader level because you're playing democracy games? Because remember, we're the foundation. Our people are the foundation of fraud being able to happen and nobody do anything about it by using these fraudulent identities. So now a man could say he's a girl and all that stuff and go into girls' washrooms and all that because of Negro black colored people. They don't think that they're responsible, but they're responsible because they were the first fraud. The people playing slave games. And then remember, because it's fraud, everything has to be assumed. There's nothing that's a reality. Everything's based on assume. Republic truth versus democracy fraud. The following law definitions are presented word for word, firmly discerning and denoting the distinctions made between constitutionally sanctioned republic versus the colorable imposed democracy, which has been contemporarily propagated by questionable, plausible, and less than loyal politicians, military officers, social engineers, and social teachers, etc. For law verification of their criminality, see the United States Constitution, Article 4, Section 4. These official excerpts are derived from the Soldiers Training Manual, TM 2000, as issued under authority of the government by the War Department of the United States Republic, North America, dated November 30th, 1928. The reader is advised to be cognizant of the supreme law of the land, Constitution, when reading, analyzing, and considering the serious social and political violations and ramifications involved in the exposure of this military information. Also keep in mind the following law-binding facts concerning the official oath of the Commander-in-Chief, every soldiers who enlists, and any soldiers who were drafted into any branch of military service under the authority or under the jurisdiction of the United States Republic. The following is an excerpt from the solemn oath as taken by law by all military personnel. I swear or affirm to defend the United States and the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. United States Constitution, Article 4, Section 4. The United States shall guarantee to every state in this Union a republican form of government, and shall protect each of them against invasion, and on application of the legislature or of the executive, when the legislature cannot be convened, against domestic violence. The Soldier's Training Manual, TM 2000, United States War Department, November 30th, 1928. Democracy, a government of the masses, authority derived through mass meeting or any other form of direct expression, results in mobocracy. Attitude toward property is communistic, negating property rights. Attitude toward law is that the will of the majority shall regulate, whether it be based upon deliberation or governed by passion, prejudice, and impulse, without restraint or regard to consequences, results in demagogism, license, agitation, discontent, anarchy. Republic. Authority is derived through the election by the people of public officials best fitted to represent them. Attitude toward property is respect for laws and individual rights and a sensible economic procedure. Attitude toward law is the administration of justice in accord with fixed principles and established evidence with strict regard to consequences. A greater number of citizens and extent of territory may be brought within its compass, avoids the dangerous extreme of either tyranny or mobocracy, results in statesmanship, liberty, reason, justice, contentment, and progress. So yelling all that democracy, all that democracy yelling was mute. Because liberty over democracy. There's no benefit to pushing for a democracy. Absolutely no benefit. Democracy is going to lead you to mob rule. And the mob already made these people go take jabs and stuff for nothing. The mob, the democracy is why gas is crazy. The democracy is why only male plants and all that around here. Democracy is all the BS that your children have to deal with when you're not around them. Because you better train them right at home so when they go out there, they know how to deal with the crazy world that's out there. The madness. Right? Because they're attacking them 24/7. They're attacking them. All of it is because of the democracy. Just like because of the Negro, black, whatever, you're going to get a response when you move in a certain way. That's automatic. That is nothing that everybody hasn't gotten. You touch the hot thing, you're going to get burned. You're going to go touch the hot thing still after? You're not going to put the glove on or anything like that? You're the man? All right, you know. Do your thing then. But don't get mad. Don't complain after. Don't complain. When skin's peeling and stuff's bubbling up and all that stuff, don't cry.
How much did you pay for your first house? $18,000 with 17 acres. What year? 1989. When I was a kid, cars were thousands of dollars. A brand new car, like, I don't know, $5,000. I remember seeing ads. Houses were probably, what, $10,000, $20,000 when I was a kid. A dollar used to actually be worth something. But what happened? You know what happened in 1913? Federal Reserve. Look at a dollar bill. Federal Reserve note. Okay? Who's Federal Reserve? This is their money.
And then remember, that same $1 note, and then never get rid of, at the back has a pyramid and then an eagle. The pyramid and an eagle. Pyramid. Just go in the pocket right now. Pull out the $1 note. If you're somewhere that has US notes, pull out the $1 so you could look at it for yourself, because you looked at it but you never thought about it ever in your life. So let's think about it. Remember, we were just talking about Republican democracy, right? There's a pyramid. And there's an eagle. And you always see people speak from the eagle side. Whether it's on the podium, whether it's a flag, whatever, you know. You see, but this pyramid over here, they don't talk about at all. They don't mention it at all. Why wouldn't they mention it at all? And then going back to this point, in 1913, Federal Reserve, 1913, Vatican, 1913, Noble Drew Ali, and the old Canaanite temple, and the start, the first footprint of what was going to be going on. Never have you seen them speak from the pyramid. Never. Always they speak from the eagle. Always. And then, you know, you just get your change, put your change in your pocket, and you go about your business. You ever wonder what the pyramid's there for? Why is a pyramid, or why is a pyramid on this? Who is this? Who are these people that the pyramid is? Something has to be going off in people, especially the Egyptologists, whoever's, and all them people. That all these years they have this note in their pocket, and they're talking about go over there to some that pyramid's over here. What do you go? Who told you that pyramid's from over there? Interesting.
Right? Who are they? Are they feds? Are they part of the government? Are they a private organization? Are they run by banksters out of Europe? Went back in 1913. See what happened.
I'm looking to. We got to say.
The money. Look up Federal Reserve. It's on your dollar bill. What does it mean? Who is it? Who started it? Are they us? Are they the U.S.?
Look at the N-word. Look how far he is. Look how far he is. Because it's information. Let it be some talking about some BS. You be shoving mic down people's throat. This is how. Remember the theme. N-words don't read. Doesn't have knowledge. Right? Knowledge, nothing. Nothing when it comes to knowledge. Walking away, dude still talking, walking away. What kind of interviewer is that? That interviewer's whack. Mike should have been down his throat. And should have stayed there for about another hour. Should have actually followed him all over the store while he's doing his shopping and let him put you on some game about what's going on. Then right in your pocket. And you don't even pay attention. What is the Federal Reserve? Well, it's who prints the money. And? What do you mean? And? What's that have to do with anything? That's it? Nothing else? No Jekyll Island meetings and none of that? You're not talking about anything about that? Nothing? Interesting. But the people have the stuff in their pocket. Their pyramid right there, in their face. Look at them running from their pyramid. Running.
Pretty much anyone who is considered African American is technically a Moors, like a Moors descendant, being a descendant from Africa, being south of the equator. The term black is a magic spell that has been used to trick people into a false identity. A magic spell that has been used to trick people into a false identity. A magic spell that has been used to trick people into a false identity. A false identity. A false identity. A false identity.
When you really boil it down, what are you afraid of? You afraid to call the European a European? Is that what it is? Are you afraid to call them who they are? I'm not finna call them white people because they not white people. What's gonna happen? What's the worst that could happen if you identify them as who they are, which are Europeans or Albions? If you finally start to call yourself who you are, what's the worst thing that could happen to you? Think about it. What else could possibly go wrong if you made a stand and said, I'm gonna call myself a Moor. I'm gonna call myself a Moor. What could possibly get worse? Are you looking around outside? They uphold material over their own righteous mind.
1916, Bishop Homer Stuntz reported to Congress that Latin America should be called Moorish America. Here's why. Bishop Homer Stuntz made a bold, thought-provoking statement when he referred to Latin America as Moorish America. He delivered the following words before the U.S. Congress on Monday, February 14, 1916. Spanish America might frankly be called Moorish America. The religion of the Spanish felt the influence of the Moorish overlord, as did his architecture, his estimate of the place of womanhood in the social order, and his concept for human life. Christian Work in Latin America, Volume 3, page 336.
Play around all you want. You play around all you want. But happy holy day. Let's get holy. Honest and Noble Drew Ali for bringing us our Quran so we can be saved, not be played. Yahshua spake on the unity of Allah and man to the Hindus. Benares is a sacred city of the Brahms, and in Benares Yahshua taught. Udraka was his host. Udraka made a feast in honor of his guest, and many high-born Hindu priests and scribes were there. And Yahshua said to them, with much delight, I speak to you concerning life, the brotherhood of life. The universal Allah is one, yet He is more than one. All things are one. By the sweet breath of Allah, all life is bound in one. So if you touch a fiber of a living thing, you send a thrill from the center to the outer bounds of life. And when you crush beneath your foot the meanest worm, you shake the throne of Allah and cause the sword of life to tremble in its sheath. The bird sings out its song for men, and men vibrate in unison to help it sing. The ant constructs her home, the bee its shelter comb. The spider weaves her web, and flowers breathe to them a spirit in their sweet perfumes that gives them strength to toil. Now men and birds and beasts and creepy things are deities made flesh. And how dare men kill anything? It is cruelty that makes the world awry. When men have learned that when they harm a living thing, they harm themselves, they surely will not kill, nor cause a thing that Allah has made to suffer pain. A lawyer said, I pray Yahshua, tell who is this Allah you speak about? We are his priests, his temples. Where are his priests, his temples, and his shrines? And Yahshua said, the Allah I speak about is everywhere. He cannot be compassed with walls, nor hedged about with bounds of any kind. All people worship Allah, the One, but all the people see Him not alike. This universal Allah is wisdom, will, and love. All men see not the triune Allah. One sees Him as Allah of might, another as Allah of thought, another as Allah of love. A man's ideal is his God, and so as man unfolds, his God unfolds. Man's God today, tomorrow is not God. The nations of the earth see Allah from different points of view, and He does not seem the same to everyone. Man names the part of Allah he sees, and this to him is all of Allah. And every nation sees a part of Allah, and every nation has a name for Allah. You Brahmins call him Parabrahm. In Egypt he is Thoth, and Zeus is his name in Greece. Jehovah is his Hebrew name, but everywhere he is the causeless cause, the rootless root from which all things have grown. When men are afraid of Allah and take him for a foe, they dress up other men in fancy garbs and call them priests. To their face, he's telling them this, right? Don't forget. And charge them to restrain the wrath of Allah by prayers. And when they fail to win his favor by their priests, to buy him off with sacrifice of animals or birds. When man sees Allah as one with him, as Father Allah, he needs no middleman, no priest to intercede. He goes straight up to him and says, my Father God Allah, and then he lays his hand in Allah's own hand and all is well. And this Allah, you are, each one, a priest, just for yourself, and sacrifice of blood Allah does not want. Just give your life in sacrificial service to all of life, and Allah is pleased. When Yahshua had thus said, he stood aside. The people were amazed, but strove among themselves. Some said, he is inspired by holy Brahm, and others said he is insane, and others said he is obsessed, he speaks as devils speak. But Yahshua tarried not. Among the guests was one, a tiller of the soil, a generous soul, a seeker of life, who loved the words that Yahshua spoke, and Yahshua went with him in his home abode. Honors to all the Moors worldwide. Honors to our Prophet, Noble Drew Ali. Supreme honors to our Prophet, Noble Drew Ali. Honors. Honors to all the Moors.
Ayo, Ash.